In this session, we're going to focus on how you go about creating a link to a Blackboard session in one of your classes. So here we are inside one of the classes that we're teaching, and the first thing we want to do is go into Connect and go down to Blackboard Collaborate. It's the bottom link here, and we'll click on that. From here, we can see all of the sessions that we've currently set up, or that have already been set up in our course shell. So the first thing we want to do from here is click on Create Session, and now we're going to enter all of the session information. There's a set format for doing the course titles. So you're going to start off with your class number, followed by the day of the week, then the actual date, the full date, last name, and then the time of the session in Pacific Standard Time. And you want to make sure you note that as well. So then we're going to go down to the Start Time field and go to the correct day, and we'll use the this bar right here to scroll over to the correct hour. So we want 8, and then with the minute bar, we're going to move over to 8:30. So, let's make sure we get PM. 8:30 PM. Okay. Done. And now we'll set the end time. So this is going to be a hour-long class. So 9:30 PM. Done. As a default, you can leave the early session entry on 30 minutes, or you can modify that by choosing one of the other time limits here. And there are many other optional decisions you can make down below, but this video is covering the basics of what you would need to set up a session, and just a couple things that you may want to adjust. In Assign Roles, you can choose to make everyone a moderator, or to just allow people to have the usual permissions. And then Session Attributes, you can determine whether or not supervisors, the moderators in other words, can actually see private chat messages or not. You can modify the number of talkers, the number of cameras, whether hands are raised upon entry, whether in-session invitations are allowed, so we probably want to set that. And you can even set it so that names are hidden in recordings. So there are a lot of different options that we haven't had in the past, some of which you may find useful and some of which we will go over in later videos. But these are the basics for how you set up a session in Blackboard Collaborate. Keep in mind also that when you set this up here, we're going to click Create Session, and that's going to add it to the list of courses that we see when we go into Connect, look at Blackboard Collaborate, and look at the upcoming sessions. So now we can see this here, and this is where the student is going to come to access the class. However, it's not going to add that session to the class dashboard. So after you've set up that class, you'll want to come to the actual calendar and schedule it on the calendar so that students will see that. And they still will not be able to, they're not going to be able to join by clicking on the link on the calendar. Your students will also need to know that they will go to Connect and scroll down to Blackboard Collaborate, and will access the sessions through this list. Okay, so that's everything that you'll need to know in order to create basic sessions in Blackboard Collaborate.